Today, beer. It's a complex and tasty beverage. Everything from storing it, pouring it, beer is more than just beer. Now, what if I told you that the way you've been drinking your beer this entire time has been wrong? Would you believe me? Yes. You would believe? All right, great deal. Now, next question is, if you didn't believe me, would you just dismiss what I'm telling you right now as a rant of a mentally mature man? Yep. Or would you dismiss it as me being a beer snob?
Beer snob.
Beer snob, fair enough, fair enough. Well, today I'm going to demonstrate how to properly serve your beer to maximize everything that you can get out of it, whether it's flavor, participation in the group, and just having a good old time.
But maximize the draw.
That takes a little bit longer, that's way out of my hands. Okay. But as we're looking at it right now, it all starts with how you store it. Whether you're storing it in a cool, dry place or a cool, wet place, you want to maintain it right at 13 degrees Celsius or 55.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Basically, whatever your refrigerator set at or whatever your ice chest has in it for ice and beer. Now, you want to make sure that you put it upright. The reason being is because the yeast settles to the bottom. If you lay it on its side and you keep it in this position for way too long, you develop that same ring of yeast that settles at the bottom around the side here. And what it does is it changes the body and the composition of the beer so that when you pour it out, it changes the flavor, it changes the head. Essentially turns your beer not into something that you want. Now, to avoid skunking it, typically when you have a glass bottle that's clear like this, you only want to store it from anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. If you're having one that's a green or a brown bottle, you can store it up to 3 months. That doesn't mean you can't store it for any longer than that. There are professionals, there are experts that do this for a living. They can store the beer up to 2 years. But according to foodandwine.com, you only really want to store this for about those time frames as a casual drinker. Reason being is because it prevents your beer from skunking. Skunking is sour beer. Nobody likes sour beer. Next, we have the glass. Now, in the world of beer drinking, the glass is king. So according to beerstar.ca, you want to have your glass as clean as possible. And you want to only use beer in this glass. You don't want to take something like milk, for example, pour it in this glass, wash it out, and reuse it for beer because milk itself will go through and it will leave a residue in here that when you pour your beer in, it'll change the hops, it'll change the head, it'll change the composition, change the flavor, and you'll get stuck with a flat beer. So all those little things that you enjoyed, can't enjoy it no more. And in case you didn't think so, debris. You don't want debris in here because besides the fact that it's disgusting, nobody wants to go through, drink this beer when somebody else's cigarette ashes are in it. I've seen it happen before, lots of times.
Done that.
Alright, next thing you're gonna need is your good old handy dandy bottle opener.
What if it's twist off?
So yeah,
What if it's twist off?
twist off works just fine, but you can still use a bottle opener on it if you want. It just might break the thing. It's up to you. But as we're looking at it, once you get down to the pour, if the glass is the king, the pour is the sword that the king uses to get his point across. So as you're looking at your bottle or your glass here, you're going to aim right for the midline of the glass wall, tilt it to a 45-degree angle. You're going to hold your beer at 2 to 3 inches above it, and you're going to pour with a vigorous pour. Now don't be afraid of the vigorous pour because as you're pouring it, the beer when it hits the side of the glass and it comes down, it causes agitation, which in turn forms the head. The head releases all of the flavors that you didn't notice were in the beer. Stuff like hops, barley, oats, fruits, nuts, stuff that you didn't know that was in the beer. So, go ahead and raise our glass, hold it, aim it right for the center. We're going to pour. And once you get down to halfway full, you're going to straighten up the beer here. Let it sit and settle for just a minute.
And that was vigorous. Did you see that?
It was a very vigorous pour. Now what that's going to do again, like I said, is going to agitate the beer, accentuate the body, and enhance the taste of the flavor of the beer. Now you see I have just a little bit left. After you let it settle for a little bit, you're going to finish pouring right to the very center of the beer. And you end up with a nice little Corona over the top. Now, what that does, like I told you before, after it enhances the beer, you should be left with anywhere from ½ inch to 1 inch, 1.5 inches of head at the top of the beer. That's going to take and again to give you that nice full body flavor that you're looking for. So, if you all don't
5
mind,
minutes.
go ahead and pull, raise up your glasses, pour your beer.
One glass, one beer.
Yeah, you're at 5 minutes.
Sounds good. Remember, don't be afraid of that vigorous pour.
Yeah, I need somebody to vigorously pour me a beer.
All right, you know what, as a matter of fact, I will get you that vigorous pour. Since
There you go.
You've been so kind as to videotape for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna vigorously drink it.
There you go. Now you're talking like a man.
Wow. Oh, that
Just a
that
little
was
bit
nice. By the way, this is the best speech ever.
Ever.
And so, with this today, I hope to you I say cheers. Here's to getting the most out of your beer,
To beer.
and here's to getting the most out of your favorite, bubbly, cold, frosty beverage of your choice. Cheers.
Cheers.